Franklin TV presents Franklin High School Varsity Field Hockey. It is a afternoon matchup in which it's been raining all day, but we're going to get started here as the sun pokes her head out between the hosting Franklin Panthers and the North Attleboro Red Rocketeers. Hi neighbors, I'm Ryan Martin on the mic today, joined alongside camera operators Meredith Robertson and Melissa Marchese. It's the Red Rocketeers coming to town to take on the Panthers. A 5:15 start that was in jeopardy here as it was heavy rains all day long, nonstop from about 9 a.m. to roughly 3 or 4 p.m. And all of a sudden, it's cleared up and the sun beginning to shine here for probably the last 30 to 45 minutes it's up. So an actually pretty dry field here from the Beaver Street turf. As it's the Franklin Panthers at 4-0-1, taking on a formidable opponent in North Attleboro. They're 4-1-1 on the year. We'll start off here in the middle with North Attleboro. It's the Red Rocketeers getting this one underway here on Franklin TV. North Attleboro in their red jerseys, red uniforms with white numerals. Franklin in their home white jerseys, white uniforms with their light blue numerals. So that sun peeking her head again. She'll be dropping over the Franklin goal as we get this one started. The first 15 here as Caneo moves it up. Sophia Caneo and Haley Wernig, as Wernig is right there on it. Two underclassmen to watch for Coach Michelle Hess. Here's Wernig. Up front to senior captain Shaw Downing, who will lose the stick. Two fantastic teams, a lot of more stats to come in a second. Ella Griffin will try and get that to Caitlin Carney, a name to watch here in this one. Back to her sister Emily Carney, who will put the first shot on net. Still alive for Franklin, but now fighting for it was Caroline Folan. Watch out for that last name. More on that as well later. Wernig. Trying to get this started here for Franklin, who 4-0-1 on the year. They're coming off a 12-0 win against Sharon here. As we have our first penalty call of the game, and it'll be our first corner of the game. It's Caneo who will take it. Our referees for today, making the call right there, was Doran DiPilato and her partner today, Jill Power. It'll go right to Carney. Carney will try and fire a shot on goal. That one goes wide right. Award it back to the Red Rocketeers. Or no, they'll say it's another penalty against North Attleboro. So the second corner of the game for Franklin already. Just about 2 minutes into this one. Inside Caneo, leaving it for Caitlin Carney again, the senior captain for Franklin. Carney. He'll turn this one over. Still fighting for it is Carney. Her shot on goal. Carney still chasing this one down after a couple of failed plays. They'll say it's a penalty, a push on Rory McGinley. And Caneo to start with it from the side now. Sophia Caneo, what a start she's had to this year, a junior. And that one will finally go out on Franklin. So give it back to the Red Rocketeers. North Attleboro, coached by Karen Folan. As you mentioned, 4-0-1 as that one goes out right in front of us. Give it to the Panthers. Caneo with it outside. Karen Folan leading the helm. Two daughters on this team as well. You have senior Caroline Folan, she's number 16. And Madison Folan, a sophomore, number 2. This one inside to Rogan. They'll say it goes off Rogan's knee. Give it back to North Attleboro. To start with it now is Maddie Bailey. North trying to get their first offensive shot of the game. No real pressure here from North Attleboro, who, as you mentioned, is 4-1-1 on the year. A pretty big turnaround from them last year, where they went 7-9-3. North Attleboro, really for the first time in a while, showing some signs of life, and as they do right here. It's Julia Pacheco. More on her later as well. Trying to keep it in bounds was Folan, but a good play there from the freshman goaltender, Devin Berry. The freshman behind the pipes for Coach S. Facing some pressure there, as you mentioned, from Julia Pacheco. Or Pacheco. For Pacheco, her 23 goals was the third best in the Hockomock last year. A Northeastern commit is Pacheco. Franklin still trying to control this one. Here's Wernig. A turnover again to Ava McKeon. McKeon moving it up now to Kelsey Thompson. And now Ava Spencer with it, senior midfielder. Working on Brooke Taylor, a junior. Some pressure inside. North Attleboro not able to get a shot off, and that one will trickle out of bounds. So 4-1-1 is North on the year. And they started the year 1-1, have won 4 straight since. And get this, 4 wins in a row for North Attleboro, 4 straight shutouts for the Red Rocketeers. On the side now, it goes to Pacheco. North Attleboro trying to advance it here again. Good defense again from Franklin. And here comes a rush. Peyton Crandall will try and start this one to Shaw Downing. Downing, big game against Sharon last game. She still has it. Now losing it to Madison Foley. And they'll give this one back to North Attleboro, going off a Panther. North Attleboro really stout as of recently. They won 4-0 against Taunton, 2-0 against Mansfield, 8-0 against Milford, and most recently 9-0 against Stoughton. Peyton Crandall with a chance inside, but it'll go past the end line, give it back to North Attleboro. North has had some pressure in this one, and trying to start with it again is Folan. Folan lets it go out of bounds. And they'll say it goes out on Folan, so started with Caneo on the right side. This one will take an extra second as it trickles behind the bleachers. Caneo going on a scavenger hunt, but now with it. He goes in the legs of Folan. And Wernig will commit the penalty. So they'll give the penalty to Wernig. He started back with North Attleboro. Now as we keep introducing our opponent here today, North Attleboro, as they try and get a rush on net, here comes Pacheco. Pacheco will take a tumble, and they'll call a penalty on Kearney. Not only are the Red Rocketeers 4-1-1, but all 6 of their games played so far have been on the road, part of a 9-game road trip to start the year for North Attleboro. 9 straight in which they don't touch their home turf. Here's Wernig. Leaves it up for Downing, but instead it's Ava McKeon beating her to it. How about the pressure here from Kearney? How good is she dribbling the ball? Up here to her fellow captain Downing. Downing leaving on the right side for Wernig, who uses that speed, the sophomore, showing it off again. Tries to cross it back inside. Good play there from McKeon. Off her body, it goes back to Franklin. Kearney flipping inside. Downing not able to get the redirection, though. Out of bounds on the Panthers. Franklin has not had a bad season themselves. Still undefeated at 4-0-1. And that streak that we've talked about so much this season continuing on. A 51-game winning streak against Hockomock League opponents as Downing tries to get it inside. That one will go out of bounds. And they'll start it at the top with Caitlin Kearney. 51 straight wins against Hockomock League opponents. Trying to make it 52 here against a fellow Kelly Rex opponent in the Red Rocketeers. Dobrisky stops the pressure from North. And she'll advance it up here to Taylor. Taylor to her classmate, Emily Carney. Survival defense here from North Attleboro. As Folan has it right in front of us. On the left side she goes. Caneo stopping any passing lane. Folan dribbles it in and finally gets a cross off. Carney moving it up for a teammate, but it's Downing making the interception. Downing running with it. She tries to chip it in, and that won't go out of bounds. Watch out for Shaw Downing. We saw her play a lot of that center back defense last year, but now in the midfield is Downing, who finished with 5 goals and an assist in their 12-0 win against Sharon. Emily Carney trying to get it forward. She can't. Keep it with North. Trying to save this one from going to bounce is Emily Burnham. Burnham won't be able to. Back to Caneo. Wernig gets it in some space to Carney. Caitlin tries to get the chip there from Downing. Instead, it's the first save made of the game for North Attleboro's goalkeeper, who 11 minutes into this one, she hasn't heard her name called here on Franklin TV. It's Gracie Leary, the junior, in goal for Coach Folan. Carney tries to chip it forward. That one will say a high stick. Back with North. A turnover here from North Attleboro. Still with it are the Rocketeers. Ella Griffin trying to play it. She does get it by Griffin, a junior. Gets it to Emily Carney, and Wernig out and running on the right side. Turns it over there to McKeon. And it'll be Franklin from the near side. Caneo with 3:32 left in our first quarter of action. How about the dribbling here from Carney? Carney gets a shot off. She'll fire it. That one will hit the net just a little bit to the right side. Give it back to the Red Rocketeers. Ella Luistro running for North. Folan trying to play with it a little, and she does. Carney intercepting. Teeing it off as Caitlin, but back to Folan. North still moving, and here comes Peyton Crandall. Crandall with some space. Tries to find Downing instead. It'll end up near Emily Carney. Carney with some space in front of her. Spin move. And still Downing with it in front of the net. Downing, couple shots. And she'll say that it'll be another penalty corner for Franklin. So Franklin now with their third PC of the game. As Caneo talks it over with senior captain Caitlin Carney, and now she'll head for the end line. Can Franklin capitalize? Here's Emily Carney. To her sister Caitlin, her shot. And they'll say another high stick on Caitlin. Caitlin will talk it over for a second with referee Doran Dipolato. And that one will go right out of bounds, right to us. And Caneo to start with it. Folan. Not able to get to it, and she'll flick it forward towards Dennett. Dobrisky now moving back for it. North trying to put on the pressure as Franklin starting to take more time of possession. Here comes Francesca Spencer. Too much contact, and they'll say it goes off Spencer. Carney to start with it. Instead, leaving it for Dobruski is Carney. Making the call right there, Jill Power. Funny story, we're talking to referee Doran Dipolato before the game. Talked to her a little bit about her career and if she's been partners with Power before. She said, yes, we've been partners for a lot of games. I used to do Jill's games. I used to ref her games when she was in high school. Now partners is Powers and Dipolato. The waning seconds of this first quarter, as it's been a 0-0 game so far. Pretty even one here from the Beaver Street turf. Dennett plays some defense, might have gone off her foot. No whistle, though, and that one will go out of bounds on North. So maybe one more shot for Franklin. If they'll try and get it off. Instead, it'll be North, actually. So one offensive try, about 5 seconds to go. They'll have to fire a shot off quick. Fanning on it is a Red Rockets here, and that'll do it for our first quarter of play. So after our first 15, a back and forth opening quarter, it was Franklin, the leader in terms of opportunities on net. A little bit of traffic for Franklin in front of the pipes. But North Attleboro able to claw back in that one. Got a couple of chances, too, for Franklin. And we're back here on Franklin TV. A little bit of confusion after that first quarter, but still a 0-0 game here between the North Attleboro Red Rocketeers and your Franklin Panthers. It's both teams boasting 4 wins. Franklin coming into this one 4-0-1. North Attleboro at 4-1-1. To start it off in the middle will be North Attleboro once again. Carney commits a penalty on that one. So already getting called for a couple of whistles is Caitlin Carney. We know her physical style of play. To start with it is Paccio. That one will go once again on a penalty for Franklin. Wernig committing it there. Caitlin Vacher, the one to draw it. The flick inside by McKeon. Taken by Folan. Folan defended by Caneo. Once again, third straight whistle coming from a Franklin penalty. So to start with it now is Rory McGingley. Franklin finally forcing a turnover. And now it's North Attleboro committing the infraction. Give it back to Wernig on the left side. Trying to advance it again. A fan by North. It'll get into the stick of Carney. Emily Carney going off a North Attleboro player's foot. Carney now advancing it. Good pass to Haley Wernig. Wernig moving it inside here. Yeah, good defense though. They'll say another penalty against North. Give it to Caitlin Carney. Carney quick off the whistle. Brings it right. She'll put a shot on goal. Fakes it. Instead backing down a defender. And again, Carney in a similar location to earlier. Just too far right of the goal and passing the end line. Carney off the whistle again. Goes left-handed with that. Some traffic in front. Kick save made by Leary. Good play there from Leary. And it's McKeon, Ava McKeon, a senior defender for Coach Karen Folan, has had her stick all over this game so far. Wernig. I'll say it goes off her foot. Give it back to McGingley. Tough hit from McGingley. Back to Carney. Carney gets to Wernig on the right side. Good defense from McKeon. Wernig able to get it past her. Tries to bring it inside But the North Attleboro defense able to get to it again and force a whistle. McKeon to Carney in the middle. Caitlin unable to control it, but her sister Emily does. Emily tries to draw it inside. Another through ball. That one, it felt like it was up for grabs for anyone. Getting all the way through and finding its home to the right of the net, out of bounds. Back in front to Wernig. Wernig to Downing. Downing trying to back down her defender here. Once again, it is Kelsey Thompson who's able to find it. They'll say it goes off a Red Rocketeer defender, and in that area, it'll lead to a penalty corner. Number 4 on the day already committed by North Attleboro. Franklin, though, so far 0-3 on scoring off the PC. To Carney here. With some space, she'll leave it for Emily. Emily Carney inside to Downing. Some pressure in front, and it goes off Peyton Crandall's foot to give it back to the Panthers. Peyton Crandall checking in for Sydney Rogan. To Brewski now. Keep it with Franklin here, still in possession of Kaylee. Kaylee tries to get up to Peyton Crandall. And that'll go long again. So Franklin's passing hasn't been as accurate as we're used to seeing it here at Beaver Street Field. And Joe Power calling another quick whistle, and we'll reset the play. So as you mentioned, Franklin looking for their 52nd win against the Hockomock League opponent. So obviously they've had some success recently against North Attleboro. If you dig way deeper, you can see the last time the Red Rocketeers beat Franklin. How about this? That game, last time Red Rocketeers beat the Panthers, as this one's taken by Caroline Folan. That game came October 20th, 2014. Some 8 years ago, the last time North Attleboro was able to knock off Franklin. The seniors for this Franklin team were in the 4th grade that year. So we're under 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Still no score, 0-0. Franklin 7-0-1 since last losing to the Red Rocketeers. A through ball inside. That one will go right to Haley Wernig. It's Grace Leary, the goalkeeper for North Attleboro, trying to get a foot to it. She just tops the ball a little bit, not able to get a good piece, and it was Wernig with a one-on-one date with the pipes. Haley Wernig, the sensational sophomore for Coach Hess, makes this one a 1-0 game. So Franklin with their first lead of the game so far. Took them a little bit more time than it did against Sharon. Good steal there. As this one goes back to the goal scorer, Wernig. Wernig finds it to Peyton Crandall. Crandall out left in the direction of Downing. That one can't get there, though. Downing will have to catch up to it. And taking a tumble there was Ava Spencer. She'll reclaim her stick, and she's all good. Emily Carney tries to flick it up to Downing. She can't. Crandall brings it back into the picture. Downing inside. Crandall taking a spill this time. Wernig looking for her second. Can't control it and goes wide left. Haley Wernig, so sensational for Coach Hess. Last year, she was all Hockomock's second team as a freshman. Now a sophomore, Wernig making even bigger strides. Here's Carney off the whistle. As Franklin tries to reclaim an even higher lead. How about the power on that one from Caitlin Carney? Something we've seen here a lot on the field hockey pitch and lacrosse field, as Coach Hess advises her to pass that one in. Ava McKeon to Ella Griffin. That one will go off her foot, though, so give it back to North. To start with it now for North is Kelsey Thompson. A whistle first for Doran DiPilato. Tells them to advance it a little bit more. McGinley flicks it way up. No one in particular, and that drive just keeps on going all the way past the end line. So we had a pretty good shot now of that fading sun, which you can't understate. It really felt like this game was in jeopardy of even being played throughout the day, as showers and dark clouds somehow turn into a 5 o'clock sunlight. Here's Haley Wernig on the right side. Still with it and getting past the defender is Wernig. Inside she does. Tries to get to Crandall, who goes backhand. Gets met with the North Attleboro defense. Here's Zabriskie. Goes off of Carney's foot. So Rory McGinley to start with it again. But what a good steal there from Brooke Taylor. Taylor has it turned over, but Zabriskie reclaims it for the Panthers. Lindsay Dennett getting on the action, unable to control it, but keeping it with the Panthers' possession. Ella Griffin right in front of our faces to Sophia Caneo. Up to Wernig. Wernig one taps it back to Caneo, instead finding all the way to Caitlin Carney. Carney sticking with it even while facing some pressure. The shadows of players coming into fruition now. Peyton Crandall with a really good chance inside. If just to the right of the goal was the target for the Panthers, this might be a 6-0, 7-0 game as it finds that spot again. Warnick slapping it down. Cuneo not able to get to it, so instead it goes to Roy McGinley. In the direction of Kelsey Thompson. Instead, it'll be a turnover back with the Panthers. Emily Carney turns that one over. How about the dribbling there from Carney? But a whistle will stop the attack, instead giving it to Franklin. Caitlin Carney now weaves through some space, threatens a backhand. She does a backhand. Way up in the air it goes. And they'll say the tip goes, I believe, yes. It'll be a penalty against North Attleboro. So Sophia Cuneo going to get the ball again for the penalty corner. Put a slash through it. It's number 5 on the day for Franklin. Carney will put a strike on goal off the foot of McGinley. And no whistle, even though that one definitely went off McGinley. They'll keep the pressure for North Attleboro. So a whistle there would have probably stopped that attack. Taylor with some good defense, and she causes a North Attleboro turnover. So 1-0 our score here. As we're over 2/3 of the way through the second quarter of action. Ryan Martin bringing you all the action here on Franklin TV. Franklin looking to add an insurance goal. As we also on Franklin TV have Meredith Robertson and Melissa Marchese behind the camera for us today. Appreciate all the hard work they do. Carney tries to get it up to Wernig. Wernig will have some red jerseys in her face. And it's a turnover. Back to North. Good takeaway again from Cuneo. Cuneo finds Wernig. Wernig can't get it to Carney though. And Ava Spencer starts the possession for North, and that one's already switching hands. Hess wants these Panthers to be quick off the whistle, and they go quick right there. Up to Crandall. Crandall will leave it to Cuneo, who has to come into the picture. McGinley gets a touch on it, and she won't be able to save that one as she just knocks it out of bounds. Cuneo on the ground to Carney. A little too much of a hop than she was able to control, though. Back to Carney. Carney dribbles inside. Her shot on net. Perfect location, but a kick save made by Leary. And that one will go up, give it back to North Attleboro. You could have seen with the way that Carney plays and the amount of space she had on that shot, that one was going to get some kind of pressure on Leary, and Gracie Leary, a junior, making her best save of the day, bringing those 2 feet together for the kick save. Peyton Crandall with the left, can't control that one. Can she stick with it? Yes, and they'll force a penalty. So Crandall forcing the penalty there. And too quick off the whistle, though, so they'll give it to North Attleboro. 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Warnig a little too aggressive there. Give it back to North Attleboro. Folan in front of us, tries to keep it alive, and she does. Moving it back in the middle. It's stolen by Caneo. Haley Warnig already 1 goal to her name, as we mentioned. And another penalty on a Warnig drive. So already in just 1 half of play, I thought that was a penalty corner. Instead, far enough outside where Caneo will just take it from the near side. Caneo tries to get it to Peyton Crandall. She does. Peyton Crandall finding that beautiful home to the right of the goal again. Here's Ella Luistro. Right in the direction of Wernig. Wernig with about a minute left, still plenty of time on offense. Downing, inside, Wernig comes into the picture. She can't get to it. Back to Luistro. Luistro right back to Caneo. Caneo put a backward shot, goes off of Kelsey Thompson on defense. So they kind of got to move here, but it's another penalty corner for Franklin. 41 seconds left in the half. Needing one more than that is North Attleboro. Can she get back in the picture, Kelsey Thompson? So that'll run about 10 seconds off the clock here. 25 to go. To Emily Carney. Carney flicks one up, a high looper, and that will go just over the net. Just over the net, so almost having the accuracy she wanted was the sophomore Carney. And with 12 seconds left in this first half of play, North Attleboro will try one more attempt. 5, 4. Keep advancing. It is North Attleboro, and that one will hit triple zeros right in front of us. So it's Franklin going toe-to-toe with North Attleboro for our first quarter of play, 0-0 after 1. Then all of a sudden, that second quarter saw Haley Wernig able to find one into the goal. That was about the 9:17 mark in our second quarter of play. So Franklin with that 1 goal so far of the day. Coming off sophomore Haley Wernig, North Attleboro doing a pretty good job to ramp up the defense after allowing that goal. Franklin up 1-0 here. We'll see if they can build on it in the second half, or can North Attleboro, looking to advance to 5-1-1 on the year, can they score an extra goal and gain some momentum to come back into this game? We're going to step aside here just for a second, but keep it right here on Franklin TV. We'll see if the Red Rocketeers can get back into this one. Your second half of play coming up next. And we're back here on Franklin TV for the second half of FHS Varsity Field Hockey. Once again, we have the Panthers hosting the Red Rocketeers of North Attleboro. It's a 1-0 lead awaiting the Panthers coming out of the halftime break. Ryan Martin bringing you all the action here on the mic alongside my camera operators, Meredith Robertson and Melissa Marchese. So Franklin, once again, going back and forth with North Attleboro in the first quarter. No score in that one, but a goal from Haley Wernig made this one 1-0, and it's stuck that way since. Here's Caneo to the aforementioned Wernig. That one will go off Wernig's leg, give it back to North Attleboro. Turnover here, quick possession for North. Carney with it. She's got Wernig with some space. Wernig has it now on the right side. Does she have another one? Inside she goes, and she finds the back of the net. Yes, she does. It's number 2. We'll see if they award that one to Wernig on the goal or the assist. And it's a goal for Haley Wernig. So to answer my question, yes. Coming just 42 seconds into the half, it's Haley Wernig with her second of the game, second overall, 2-0 Panthers. 42 seconds is all it took coming out of the halftime break for the sophomore to find her second of the game. That one a high looper. Folan will try and get to it, but Zabruski with it now. As it's the two teams obviously switching sides. Franklin in their white uniforms, blue numerals going from right to left across your screen. Penalty there on shot Downing. And North Attleboro, red uniforms, white numerals going from left to right across your screen. McGinley starts with this one. Some good defense there, and it goes back to Franklin. Off the foot of Spencer, still with Franklin, who just added that insurance goal, number 2. Crandall tries to put a good move on it, but goes out of bounds there. Once again, forgot to bring the sunglasses today, as it was heavy rain all day. And at the very last moment, the skies turn blue. The sun says hello for the first time on this Thursday afternoon. Here comes Julia Paccio. Paccio tries to cross it into Folan. Folan just having a go out of bounds, give it back to Franklin. So a theme of Franklin field hockey over this Michelle Hess era. And besides good defense, crisp passing on offense, is their ability on both sides of the ball to shut down a team's top player, and they've done so today with Julia Paccio. As Carney has it now on the left side. Carney with some space, getting past defenders. She'll try and dribble it in herself, a cross in, and that one goes way over everything. Into the shade it goes. Wernig able to get it before it goes out of bounds. Here is Cuneo. Cuneo back inside to Crandall. Carney in the area as well, and that one will be a penalty on the Panthers. Ava McKeon to start with it for North Attleboro. A turnover immediately, though, to Emily Carney. Carney tries to get this one to Crandall, or Carney, I should say. Emily trying to get it to her sister, Caitlin, going off a foot. And picking up the ball is Sophia Cuneo for a penalty corner. So the lead in penalty corners, again, reaching a new height for Franklin. It's now 7 penalty corners for Franklin and 0 for North Attleboro. Off the penalty corner it goes here. Emily Carney with some space. She'll try and move it inside. A penalty against Franklin, though, brings it back to North Attleboro. So North Attleboro, 0 goals on the scoreboard and 0 penalty corners to try and kickstart their offense. Maybe we'll see if Franklin can continue playing such clean defense down low. Big reason why that's happening, though, is we're seeing possessions like this. A lot of Franklin time with it. Downing keeping it alive here. Carney, no play on it, still up for grabs. This one going out to Wernig. Good play again, as we mentioned, from Ava McKeon. McKeon able to find a teammate, getting it now to Kelsey Thompson. Wide right, all the way back for Francesca Spencer. Spencer, one of 2 pairs of sisters on this North Attleboro team, along with Madison Folan and Caroline Folan. The 2 daughters of head coach Karen Folan. Downing's flick inside, wide right again. McKeon. Start a possession here for North Attleboro. You'd like to see the Red Rocketeers have some crisper passing, and just as I mentioned that pass going to no one in particular, Out of bounds to start again with Franklin. Cuneo. 3 red jerseys in her face. She'll loop it up to Emily Carney. Emily. Right side to Haley Wernick. Wernick will try and find Caitlin Carney. She does for a second. They'll see the ball is still in play. Finally going out of bounds off Caitlin. Carney intercepting right off the pass. A good dribble move to get past the defender. She'll flick it. And another penalty, though, on North Attleboro inside. So wouldn't you know, it's another penalty corner for Franklin. So if you're looking only at penalty corners right now, you might think this is a lopsided game, as it's now 9 penalty corners for Franklin, 0 for North Attleboro. They still have yet to score off one, though, as it's a flick inside. A good kick save there made by Leary. In the game now and applying some pressure on that one was number 25, Maeve Rolston. But off the defensive effort, it's a penalty. Number 10 penalty corners. 10 penalty corners for Franklin, 0 for North Attleboro. Carney inside with some space. What a pass there from Emily Carney, and Peyton Crandall does the rest. So finally, the streak breaks, and it's Franklin able to convert off the penalty corner. Peyton Crandall off the assist from Emily Carney. Good pass from the sophomore. Makes it 3-0 Franklin. That one completely set up from the assist from Emily Carney. It was Peyton Crandall just able to simply do the rest. That move inside, and Dobrisky will let it go out. Kaylee Dobrisky will flick it up. Good play there made by Folan on defense for North Attleboro. Red Rockets here still looking for their first goal of the game. Here's Folan. Flick inside, goes off the foot of Lindsay Dennett. And keep it back with the with that one going off Dennett's foot. Wouldn't you know, the streak finally breaks. And after 38 minutes of play and 10 penalty corners allowed, it's the Red Rocketeers with their first penalty corner of the day at the 7-minute mark of the third quarter. Here we go. Louise Short to start it. She'll flick it inside in the direction of Paccio. Paccio trying to stay with it, but Ella Griffin with some tight defense. Still in possession of North. That one will roll way out, though, as Franklin tries to clear it, but they'll say it went off a Rocketeer first. So, Griffin to start with it now for Franklin. 3-0 Franklin, as the Panthers were able to go into a halftime 1-0, and in the span of just over 7 minutes, it's Franklin adding on 2 more. Brooke Taylor tries to get it up to Wernig. Down to go out of bounds, give it back to North Attleboro. Here's Madison Folan. Folan off the stick of Wernig. Ooh, and Carney with some big contact there, losing a stick and sending back Ava McKeon in the process. They'll call McKeon on that one, and it goes with Franklin. Caneo. Franklin possession will end right there as Caneo getting spun around by McKeon. Back to Emily Carney, will say, goes off her foot. Joe Power making the call again to another quick possession with a turnover for North Attleboro. As I was saying, Joe Power making the call there on the far side, and on the near side now, it's Doran DiPilato. Carney off the inbound from Cuneo. Leave it back to Sophia. Here is the junior. Tries to find Carney inside. That one will go a little bit long. Give it back to North Attleboro. 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in our third quarter. Franklin off to a comfortable 3-0 lead here on Franklin TV. Carney with some good defense right off the whistle play, and a slap by Carney. Caitlin going for it all there and just finding left of the goal. No real pressure there on Grace Leary. Leary's made some good saves when asked, but has allowed 3 goals now so far. Coming into this game, as you kind of mentioned in that first half too, it was North Attleboro on a 4-game winning streak in which they were outscoring their opponents 23-0. 4 straight shutouts for the Red Rocketeers. And now it's North Attleboro trying to avoid getting shut out here from the Beaver Street turf. Flick forward there from Emily Carney. Peyton Crandall almost able to make the big steal. Instead, it's Wernig doing that part. Wernig getting it up to Peyton Crandall. Crandall have to chase after it. Going off her foot, and Crandall able to stick with it. Her pass goes right back to Kelsey Thompson. Thompson greeted with some good defense, though, from Franklin. They'll say Downing gets into it, and back with Franklin. Quick possession. And Downing able to do it, but goes back to North Attleboro. So a lot of possessions switching hands quickly. As this third quarter slowly starts to wind to a close, Devin Barry able to get into the picture for the first time in a while. And Brooke Taylor needing to play some defense. So here's Haley Wernig. Up now to Caitlin Carney. Will spin McKeon around, but that's just before turning it over to Madison Folan. Wernig tries to get that up for Franklin, and they'll give her the ball. Had a bounce on the right side. 1:49 to go in our third quarter as the sun making its final descent past the trees here on Beaver Street. Emily Carney coming into the picture with some firepower. Still dribbling it is Carney. Tries to find Ella Aldred, who's now in the game. Taking a seat is Caitlin Carney. We'll look around for any more substitutes. Can't see any right now. Emily Carney up to Peyton Crandall. Some pressure in front. Good defense at the last second from North Attleboro. That through ball trickling all the way back here. And they'll give it to Franklin from about the 70-yard line. That one goes off of a Red Rocketeer. Out of bounds again to keep it back with Franklin. So maybe time for one more pressure for Franklin as that one goes all the way through to Wernig. Caneo able to keep it alive for Franklin. Here's Emily Carney. Backing down defender, goes between the legs. Peyton Crandall will get it on net, but a save made there from the kick by Gracie Leary. Cuneo. Final pressure here with about 14 to go. Emily Carney tries to keep it alive. 7-6, Carney. One last backhanded shot. That one's on net, and it finds the hole. So similar to her assist earlier in the quarter, in which she was able to find Peyton Crandall. That slap shot from Emily Carney Finding the back of the net, it's Carney with her first goal of the game, and she does it with 1.3 to go here in that third quarter. Carney will run back now to grab the ball. The sophomore, Carney, becomes the third goal scorer on the day for Franklin. 4 goals scored. Usually, we used to talk about her sister, Caitlin Carney, as that'll do it for our third quarter of play. Emily Carney taking a much-deserved whiff of breath there, as it's her goal, making this one now a 4-0 game as we head into our final quarter of play. So we'll have a fresh 15 on, but Emily Carney, the storyline of that third quarter, a lot of great offense, and she was able to find the back of the net after having an assist earlier. So Franklin enters the third quarter with a 1-0 lead, and they leave it with a 4-0 advantage. So we'll have the fourth quarter for you on Franklin TV here in just a second, but it's Franklin cruising here now, up 4-0. Keep it right here on Franklin TV. Welcome back here to Franklin TV for the final 15 minutes of play here, as it's the Panthers now with a 4-0 lead against their opponent, the North Attleboro Red Rocketeers. Ryan Martin bringing you all the action again here on Franklin TV. I'm behind the mic. Behind the camera is Melissa Marchese and Meredith Robertson here today. So one last 15-minute period to go here, which will decide the fate, and in all likelihood, it looks like it'll move Franklin to 5-0-1, and it'll move North Attleboro to 4-2-1. We won't count our chickens before they hatch, though. It's Franklin, though, with a 4-0 lead and playing with the upper hand here. Canio off the inbound play. That one going out in front of Maeve Rolston. As we look around to it, that will do it for Devin Berry's game and goal. So we haven't said her name too many times here, but into the game now is senior Megan Sullivan. Carney moves it back outside to Rolston. Rolston has it go off her foot, give it to North Attleboro. So as we reflect on Devin Berry's day, the defense from Franklin forcing her not to face too much pressure. As I say that, here comes North Attleboro. Paccio, her shot on goal, a good power, I should say. Accuracy too far right again. Paccio, a Northeastern commit for field hockey. Once again, we haven't had a chance to say her name too many times, and that's because of this Franklin defense, who's kept Devin Berry's day light as Peyton Crandall moves it in. And will lead to the 4th straight shutout for Devin Berry. The freshman goalkeeper has been tremendous for Coach Michelle Hess. Here's Peyton Crandall. Up to Caitlin Carney, now to the right for Maeve Rolston. Maeve inside. She can stick with it. But on the clear, it goes North Attleboro. Way back to Brooke Taylor. As a light breeze comes here on the Beaver Street turf, the sun now evaporated behind the clouds. A shot on net by Caitlin Carney. Showing off that power again goes Caitlin, but similar to the shot she had in the waning moments of the third quarter, just too far left. Zabriskie draws a penalty here. That one going against number 17, Francesca Spencer. And it's Zabriskie to tee it off again. That one probably not within a yard or two of any player. And we'll go all the way past the end line. No. North Attleboro bring this one back into the picture. It's been a wide range of temperatures, it feels like, here at the Beaver Street turf. It started with the light sun, and then as that first and second quarter came, the sun started beating down. Those jackets came off, but all of a sudden As the sun goes down, it's probably cooled off an extra 4 or 5 degrees. Paccio tries to claw it inside, and Dobrisky, the first one to it. Back out to Downing, and that one will be a penalty on Downing, so bring it to the corner. And starting with that one was McGinley. Tough defense from Kearney. Spencer tries to move it, but Dobrisky with the stop. Good pressure here from North Attleboro. They'll try and feed it inside. The backhander from Paccio. Best look of the day so far, and a sigh coming from the Red Rocketeer crowd on hand. Definitely the best opportunity so far for North. Good angle on it, just shot going off. Crandall trying to play some defense, but instead it's North Attleboro still able to advance it. Good defense, though, stopping that possession from Shaw Downing. Downing right in front of us. Sends it way across the field to Peyton Crandall. Crandall's run down will be able to stop it. Gets it right to Downing. Good pass, but Downing not able to get a stick to it. Back in the game now is Emily Kearney. Her goal, the most recent one. Caitlin Kearney, inside, good save made from the kick of Grace Leary. I should say no, Grace Leary not in here to start our fourth quarter. Instead, it is Iman Farid. Farid, a junior, so classmate with Leary. Farid now in goal. That one goes out of bounds. On Franklin, North Attleboro trying to show some extra juice here. Big through ball, and that one will do the job to clear it. But it goes back in possession of Franklin. Kaylee's pass will go right to the defender, goes off the knee of Dobrisky. And back to Franklin. Dobrisky with another turnover going into the hands of Spencer. Spencer tries to feed it inside. Dennett coming in back into the picture. Here is Paccio. Emily Kearney showing some defense now as it's her sister Caitlin firing this one forward. Peyton Crandall able to control it. It's Crandall and about 5 North Attleboro players as the nearest to the ball, and that one will result in a turnover to McKeon. Crandall coming back on the defensive end as McKeon dribbles inside. A trip a little bit. McKeon has some words for Crandall. Flick up, and we have a penalty going against North Attleboro. So they'll go find number 8, Sophia Cuneo, as it now is number 11 on the day. The 11th penalty corner for Franklin, trying to add on to a 4-0 lead they've been able to work up. Warnick tries to leave it for Kearney. We've seen this Panthers offense try and pull off a couple of those plays when they have a comfortable lead. But that play off the corner leads to nothing. Here's Warnick. Back to Caitlin. Caitlin Kearney not able to get to it, but it's Wernig finding the through ball, and Haley Wernig with a hat trick on the day. So they'll probably find the assist to Caitlin Kearney on that one, but what a day for the sophomore Haley Wernig. A sensational player for Coach Hess, who's really taking control of this one. Her third goal of the day makes it 5-0 Panthers with 7:40 to go. That one going too high up, but Haley Wernig What a game she's having, too. Yeah, 3 goals and assists to go along with it. As this one starts with Rolston. Rolston, the only freshman on the roster for Coach Hess this year. This one will trickle way out right to Cuneo. Franklin. We've seen everyone off their bench so far in this one. Has now a 5-0 lead, and they'll look to add on more. Carney leaving it to her sister Emily. Emily Carney, left-handed shot. No, but the defense keeping it alive here for Franklin. Rolston gets to it, back in front to Caitlin Carney. Peyton Crandall trying to get on the action too. So a slew of Panthers trying to make something happen. And it will go out of bounds. Peyton Crandall goes to get it, so it looks like it will start with the Panthers, and it will. Carney at the top with 6 minutes to go here in this one. So those Chickens able to be counted a little more, as we are now just 6 minutes away from the final whistle, and Franklin with a comfortable 5-0 lead. So as the Panthers move to 5-0-1 on the year, they'll have a really intriguing matchup with Canton just under a week away, next Wednesday. So long weekend. Both teams actually getting a nice break, and they'll be out of action until Wednesday. So Canton, Franklin plays at Canton next week. How about this? The Bulldogs this year, 5-0 is Canton atop the Davenport division. So it'll be a fascinating matchup on Wednesday as Canton hosts Franklin. They're 5-0 in the year. They've had 37 goals to just 5 allowed is the Bulldogs. So as it's the top team in the Kelly Rex, Franklin, top team in the Davenport will match up on Wednesday. Caitlin Carney shot inside. Good kick save there made again by Fareed. That one goes out of bounds. Give it back to North Attleboro. So Franklin, they were not tied at the top, but they were the top team in the Kelly Rex, the number 2 team in the Kelly Rex. The North Attleboro Red Rocketeers you're watching right now. Both teams have 4 wins, but since one of the wins came against a non-league opponent, it's North Attleboro with 8 points and Franklin with 9 points on the year. So 9 league points. And it's North Attleboro coming into this one with 8 league points and 9 points overall. I think it was the tie with Dartmouth as their opening game, the reason for that. So after this one, though, it's Franklin moving into this single holder for the Kelly Rex division, and it will be North Attleboro moving to 4-2-1. Franklin looking for one more shot here. Upward it goes from Cuneo. Wernick's touch, seeing it go out of bounds. So we'll have to get a reflection next time we see this Panthers field hockey team here from the Beaver Street turf, because by that time that game with Canton will be decided. And for Franklin, that would be, if they can beat Canton, this is win number 52 in a row against Hockomock League opponents. As here comes Caitlin Carney. That win against Canton, could it be 53? Could it be back to 0? We'll see, but that one is a penalty going against North Attleboro. Not only is it a penalty, but it's also a penalty corner. Number 12 on the day. And split even now for Franklin. I should say number 12, yeah. 6 in the first half, 6 in the second half. That one will be in possession of Carney, who tries to flick it inside. Wernick keeps it alive. Pressure in front of the net. That one, a kick save made by Fareed. Maybe the best save of the day by any of the 4 goalkeepers we've seen enter this one, as Fareed's save stops that one. It leads to another penalty corner for Franklin, though, number 13 on the day. Emily Carney back with some space. Her shot on goal. It goes through two teammates, but finds the end line. Put it back with Franklin. Rolston trying to go quick off the inbound. Finds Carney. Emily loses possession of that one to Julia Paccio. Paccio leaving it forward to her teammate. But it goes back for Franklin. A defense from Brooke Taylor. Emily Carney, the first one to it. Carney dribbling it like we've seen her sister do a couple times today. With 90 seconds to go, it's Carney losing possession of that one. McGingley. North Attleboro just trying to prevent that shutout against them. Pacio's shot inside. Some space in front. That one's up for grabs, and it's going to the ground as Megan Sullivan. This one's still a good chance. Sullivan going up and down. Still with it is North Attleboro. Another shot, no whistles, and finally a whistle. This one being awarded to North Attleboro. So probably the longest offensive pressure we've seen in between both teams. The toughest pressure not resulting in a goal. The best sign of life for North Attleboro, it comes down 5 with 40 seconds to go. Their second penalty corner of the half and the game. Folan unable to work it. Another penalty against Franklin, which will result in another penalty corner. Red Rocketeers got to move quickly now. They have not been shut out all season. Here they go. Paccio, her shot inside. That one gets past everyone, but too far left of the goal. With 4 seconds to go, that looks like it'll be the last possession of the game. So, it's Franklin, the host in this one. They pick up a big-time win against the North Attleboro team that moves to 4-2-1. Franklin, we saw that first quarter, once again, a pretty back-and-forth battle between the Red Rocketeers and the Panthers. No goals scored in the first quarter, but coming into the second quarter, it was Haley Wernig scoring her first of 3 goals on the day. That was the only goal in the first half, so it's 1-0 after halftime. Wernig scores just 42 seconds into the second half. It's Peyton Crandall, Emily Carney putting another one on the board, and then Haley Wernig's third, the finisher and the dagger, as Nippon Goyle would say here from the Beaver Street Turf. So Franklin picking up a huge 5-0 win to move to 5-0-1 on the year. North Attleboro falling to 4-2-1. Your Panthers will be in action on Wednesday at Canton. That'll do it from our broadcast here. Thank you so much for tuning in here on Franklin TV and watching this big-time win for Franklin Field Hockey. For my camera operators, Meredith Robertson, Melissa Marchese, hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you so much for tuning in here on Franklin TV. I've been Ryan Martin. We'll see you in the next one, neighbors.